has drawn you here. Feel the warmth pulling you near. Breathe it in and let it fill your heart. It's like love. Cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins. Breathe it in your lungs, will stay. Seen it all before, till you found something more. Breathe it in and let it fill your heart. It's like love, yeah. Cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins. Breathe it in your lungs, will stay. Time it all makes sense, you know. Yeah, you know. It's like love, cleanse your soul. Feel it in your veins. Breathe it in, your lungs will stay. It's like love. For the first time, it'll all make sense. You know it. It's like love.
Food and wine experiences are a big part of what motivates us to travel. So through our Restaurant Australia campaign, we've been building international interest in Australia's vibrant culinary scene. And as interest continues to grow, creative businesses around the country are finding new ways to tap into this exciting opportunity. Here are some fantastic examples.
The interest of culinary tourism has really grown the last few years because people are realising from overseas what a diverse landscape we have here.
People are interested in trying different foods, and there's been a big interest in Australian bush foods.
So what we love, and I think our clients love about our beach and surfing tours, is that we're in a beautiful, iconic location, we're eating amazing food, and we're doing it all together and sharing a local experience. We're all having a great time.
Wonderful food, produce is great, and of course the wine, the craft beer, all of those different elements just add up to make Australia really one of the world leaders now in that area.
For people who live in big cities, it's amazing to come and actually pick fruit off a tree. The actual excitement and the amount of pictures they take is wonderful to see. So yes, it's really, really something special for them.
As Tasmanian whisky is growing around the world, so too are the visitors that are interested in coming to experience it here in Tasmania.
Our international customer base, they come from everywhere in the world. It's unbelievable. There's a big Asian market, but we have a big following out of Europe, even Americans. It's amazing. They're coming from everywhere.
All our rooms have a South Australian minibar, so we have wines and chocolates and crisps and biscuits and all the beautiful things that South Australia has to offer that is made locally.
We've been fortunate enough to have a whole variety of international visitors come into the region. I think on such a different level to what their home experiences are. So it's really fresh for them, really new, something very different. It's exciting for us to tell those stories.
I'm Lucy O'Brien. I'm the Head of Sales and Marketing for Majestic Hotel Group. Majestic Hotels is a group of 5 hotels, South Australian owned and operated, have been around since 1986. Majestic Hotels is all about supporting local and sustaining and providing jobs. So we try to work with as many local producers and winemakers as possible. Our rooms have a South Australian minibar, so we have wines and chocolates and crisps and biscuits and all the beautiful things that South Australia has to offer that is made locally. Yeah, I think that the provenance of the products is obviously important, and they're getting out to the regions and exploring so they can sort of, you know, put the picture together and really go and taste those little treats that they've had the night before or the next day, and yeah, it really enhances their experience.
I'm Charlie Costello, I'm General Manager of Pielago Estate in Canberra. We've 55 acres here of market garden, olive grove, vineyard, orchard, 2 restaurants and an event space. We're very lucky to be 10 minutes from the centre of Canberra. We're on the scene about 2 years now, and we've been really well received, and it gives an added dimension to Canberra tourism and to Australian tourism, we hope. Being so close to Canberra Airport and the addition of Singapore flights recently and Qatari Airlines flying in next year, I think we'll see a big change in the number of international tourists visiting Canberra. As for people who live in big cities, it's amazing to come and actually pick fruit off a tree. The actual excitement and the amount of pictures they take is wonderful to see. So yes, it's really, really something special for them. People know Australia, I suppose, primarily for its wine, but the food experience here matches any in the world. So as part of the experience here, you can see the products being grown, so you can pick it in season. You can also have a wonderful meal enjoying the produce, or you can take some home to enjoy at your leisure.
My name is Sonia Anthony. We have a restaurant in Bendigo called Masons of Bendigo, which has been operating now for 5 years. We really focus on regional produce, our producers, food, wine, beer, cider, and the fantastic thing around that is we're able to create experiences beyond the restaurant, and that's how my From Market to Paddock to Plate tour came about. The tour connects people in many different ways, and I think that's the unique thing about what I'm offering is we're actually going out and meeting the people that grow the food.
Currently, the food and wine scene in Bendigo is a really vibrant scene. We've got many young chefs, food producers, all working together to really showcase the best of what we've got in this region.
Masons of Bendigo have always worked very closely with Bendigo Tourism. We are very passionate about our community and what's happening here.
We have seen an increase in our international visitors joining the tour, booking on the tour.
We've been fortunate enough to have a whole variety of international visitors come into the region. I think on such a different level to possibly what their home experiences are. So it's really fresh for them, really new, something very different, and it's exciting for us to tell those stories.
I am Bob Taylor of RT Tours Australia. I'm based in Alice Springs, Central Australia. My tours, I think, really connect Aboriginal people with non-Indigenous people, and how I like people to connect is through food. I think the things that international guests get out of my dinner tour, it's the food experience, but it's the journey, seeing the food, and then coming to the site. We travel along the Turicha or the Western McDonald Ranges to Simpsons Gap. Then we go to a special location. There is a beautiful fire set up. There is a beautiful surroundings where I prepare a beautiful 5-course meal under the open skies and the star night skies. People are interested in trying different foods, and there's been a big interest in Australian bush foods. Many people have said to me, this is restaurant food in the bush.
You would expect mouth-watering seafood to be on the menu in Cairns, and of course it is. But dining here offers so much more. With a diverse range of flavours from all around the world, you can be assured of a perfect dining experience. I'm at the Oka restaurant to find out more about the food here in Cairns.
In the last 10 to 15 years, there's been quite a change in food and food service and people's tastes. I think this is driven a lot by the international visitors, so it gives us a great diversification of food to eat.
So diverse, in fact, that now kangaroo, emu and crocodile feature heavily on the menu.
So on the antipasto plate is ocean trout gravlax, which is cured ocean trout, crocodile wonton, a local bocconcini, an eggplant roulade, emu pate, and kangaroo terrine with a kakadu plum jelly. The salted native pepper leaf crocodile, that's one of our signature dishes, and it's a Chinese-style salt and pepper dish, but we use the native pepper leaf, and then a lemon aspen sambal. And lemon aspen is a rainforest fruit that we use to give it a unique flavour to the chili sambal.
That's divine.
The slow roast emu fan fillet, beautiful dish, and that was served with preserved lemon mashed potato, a little hollandaise with peas and leeks on top. The emu tastes a little bit like beef, a little bit like venison. It's not gamey at all. Another signature dish of ours is the grilled kangaroo sirloin, and that's served with a Guangdong chili glaze and a kangaroo tail steam bun and some tempura bok choy. Most people perhaps are a little bit hesitant to try the Australian game, but we have very positive reactions.
My name's Dave Thompson. I'm the eldest son, managing director of Indian Ocean Rock Lobster and the Lobster Shack. Our family business started back in the 60s with my dad when he started lobster fishing. And it was about maybe 5 years ago we decided that maybe we should look at the option of trying to encourage some form of tourism for people to come and have a look and see actually how the lobsters were handled, and it just took off, and now we've actually got 2 businesses running. All we've tried to focus on is giving the people an experience. The food is the most important thing, and because we catch the lobsters, we do have many comments to say that we've never had lobster this fresh, and we give them the ability to even go and pick their lobsters. It gets to that level. Our international customer base, they come from everywhere in the world. It's unbelievable. There's a big Asian market, but we have a big following out of Europe, even Americans. It's amazing. They're coming from everywhere. We're fortunate enough to have some multinational chefs that have brought other different cooking styles to the table, and now we're going to build this new 500-seat restaurant. So it's an exciting time for us, definitely.
I'm William Wilson. I'm a Beverage Operations Manager at the International Convention Centre in Sydney. Since we've opened, we've been doing thousands of guests, and we have served an awful lot of wonderful food and beverage. Our philosophy has to feed a lot of different cultures, but at the same time has to be very much an Australian product. I think we've got a huge advantage here. What we can produce in New South Wales really is world class. We really do have wonderful produce and incredibly talented chefs. The international congresses are the ones that are really driven by food and beverage. Therefore, the produce that we have to use just have to be fantastic. Wonderful food, produce is great, and of course the wine, the craft beer, all of those different elements just add up to make Australia really one of the world leaders now in that area.
I'm Brett from Brett's Outback Tasting Adventures. We operate from Port Douglas and we showcase the whole tablelands. We've got fantastic volcanic soil, plenty of sun, plenty of rain and plenty of passionate people wanting to try and learn and grow new different things. First of all, we take the people through the area and show them what's been cropped, what's been growing. Then we take it to the people that sell it and we can taste it, and then you can buy it there afterwards. So it's the whole gamut from the beginning to end. The interest of culinary tourism has really grown the last few years because people are realising from overseas what a diverse landscape we have here. A whole range of things we can sample up on the tablelands. everything from wine to ports to liqueurs to fruit to vegetables. Once upon a time we used to have people from just New Zealand and maybe the UK. Now we're getting people from the USA, from Sweden, from Denmark, all sorts of people from Europe. Port Douglas has got everyone said it had 2 jewels in its crown. The reef and the rainforest, it's got 3. It's got the tablelands as well, and we're here to showcase that.
I'm Brenda Miley and I run Let's Go Surfing. I started Let's Go Surfing 21 years ago out of the back of a van with an idea to promote women in surfing. And today we offer fantastic surf and beach experiences to people from all over the world. People want to come and do a tour, see Bondi Beach, experience it in the surf, but then they love to spend time with locals and do what the locals do, which is eat at our amazing restaurants. So whether after a surf they have fish and chips on the grass, they go to the RSL club, or we go fine dining at the icebergs, they have an amazing day's tour in Bondi. I think the interest in Australian food and wine has grown exponentially over the last few years. So what we love, and I think our clients love about our beach and surfing tours, is that we're in a beautiful, iconic location, we're eating amazing food, and we're doing it all together and sharing a local experience. So we're all having a great time.
My name's Brett Steele and I run Drink Tasmania Premium Tours. Well, when we began back in 2014, there was half a dozen Tasmanian distilleries that we visited, and soon after, within 12 months, there was an interest in cider. So we ran cider tours over the summer, and as the distilleries start to grow with whiskey and gin and vodka and schnapps, and then the obvious one to us was wine as well. And really in 2014, Sullivan's Cove won the world's best single malt whiskey. And that really put us on the international maps. And as Tasmanian whiskey is growing around the world, so too are the visitors that are interested in coming to experience it here in Tasmania. We bring guests from all over the world to the Sheen estate, where they get to sample the fabulous Poltergeist gin that's being made on site here with 12 botanicals. We go into the barn and you get to see all the different botanicals that go into making it. And the Mackey's whiskey that's being made is a triple distilled Irish style whiskey, the only triple distilled whiskey currently being made in Australia and made right here on site, and it just adds a fabulous diversity to the other experiences and tastes across the day.
The Bruny Island Traveller includes 7 amazing courses for the full day tour out of Hobart. It's really important to really focus on people, place and produce. The people that we meet are the makers. The place is Bruny Island, a wonderful place, and the produce is fantastic. World class, many international awards for the people that we visit during the day. Once we come across on the Bruny Island ferry, it's like stepping back in time. That's when the story really begins. The first stop that we do is Bruny Island Cheese. There we meet the makers.
I'm going to run through 4 of our favourite cheeses with you. First cheese we are going to try today is called Tom. As I said before, the Saint was a white mould. This is a wash rind.
We sit down, we relax for quite a bit of time and really enjoy the produce that they do. Then we go to Get Shucked Oysters, and that's where we learn about growing oysters on Bruny Island.
Welcome to Get Shucked. These are Pacific oysters that we serve here.
We're going to actually shuck the oysters in front of our guests, guaranteed to at least have 6 oysters per person. Bruny Island is really rich in history. One of the short walks we do is Two Tree Point. That's where Captain Cook filled up the water on Endeavour. We're really lucky to have a world-famous white wallaby on Bruny Island. It is the only place in the world where we have a wild population of white Bennett's wallaby, and today we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white wallabies in one go. Not bad. For lunch we go to the southernmost vineyard in Australia. It's Bruny Island Premium Wines. Not only do we see where this beautiful drop to drink is grown, but we also have a lot of local produce that's made to become a beautiful, beautiful lunch. After lunch, just when you think you can't fit any more in, we visit the Bruny Island Chocolate Company, because everyone loves a sweet treat. Next producer we meet on this journey is the Bruny Island Honey Company, where you indulge in a selection of locally sourced Manuka, blue gum and prickly boxed honey that is sold throughout the world. For us, it's really important when our guests come along on the Bruny Island Traveller that they can leave their wallet in their pocket. Everything is inclusive, so if they do buy anything, it's something that they like to take home afterwards. On the way back to the ferry, we stop at the Neck. For those people who want, we get down on the beach and have a beautiful beach walk. You get sand between your toes. For those people who want to get their knees wet or more, they're very welcome. And for those people that that's not for, you can sit on these beautiful steps looking out over the ocean, a fantastic view. Tasmania is famous for its whiskey. It's won a couple of international awards. It's making the Scots wonder what's so good about Tasmania. So what better way to finish the day than a nip on us at the Bruny Island House of Whiskey. It's a place where you really are lost in time. We think it's open to everybody, and Bruny Island is something everyone would love to see.
That's how you get the top of the world feeling.
My name is Jason Lien. I'm from Malaysia.
I'm a food blogger.
I'm a chef from India.
I've been writing about food for last 10 years.
I have a cafe and restaurant in Beijing.
I'm just one happy chef.
And this is my very first time visiting Australia.
I'm going wild. Yay!
Northern Territory Crabber.
I'm graduated. Woohoo!
Language, that's one component, but food and wine is another component where we learn about the culture.
Magic. I've known Australia to have a very multicultural influence in the food.
Put a little bit of basil and close the lid. Voila.
So tender, your belly. Well, not your belly, but...
You could get Italian, Greek, Chinese food, German, you name it. I thought, wow, Australia is like a food heaven.
Yum, yum, yum. They're all about seafood.
We handle nearly 500 different species every year.
500 different, wow.
In Malaysia, we get our premium meats from Australia because it's the best one.
It literally melts in your mouth. It's wonderful.
It's lamb.
Coffee and the cheese.
It's a lot of good wine. I'll probably need more.
I couldn't think of anywhere else that has so many different wines.
Good.
Good?
Good.
Cheers.
I think for the last 10 years, it's become more international, become own style of modern Australian food.
This one got crocodile meat.
Yeah, crocodile tail, this one.
I like the creativity that they've used, whether they're doing infusion of Asian stuff and all that.
But before I eat, I want to take a picture.
This country is a Garden of Eden, huh? You have the sea, you have the mountain.
What is unique is the diversity of products. We're one of the places in the world you can grow all year.
Australia is really known for their fresh produce.
Wow. It's developing into the pride for local produce, so that's really inspiring.
Come on in and try some kangaroo. Oh my God, amazing.
It's that oh my God feel.
I imagine one of the most beautiful deserts in the world. Whoa.
It's gonna take a lot to top today's experience, definitely.
Wow.
First Class Travel presents Australia's best romantic escapes. explore the south coast of New South Wales, a 5-day road trip. Pack the car, leave plenty of space for local purchases, and be ready to reinvigorate yourself with lush rolling hills and picturesque coastlines. From Sydney, make your way to the Grand Pacific Drive and feel the city air transform into fresh coastal breezes. Suspended over the ocean, this 665-metre long bridge winds around the rock face of the Illawarra Escarpment, offering breathtaking coastal views. Killalea Beach in Shell Harbour encompasses over 250 hectares of pristine coastal reserve, with fantastic surfing beaches, walking trails, and stunning coastal views in all directions. If you're travelling through in September, be sure to visit Sculptures by the Sea in Killalea, a 10-day celebration of art, colour, creativity and culture, showcasing over 80 installations, accompanied with live music and a selection of local food stalls. Drive just over 30 minutes and you'll find magnificent waterfalls, subtropical and temperate flora, and intriguing wildlife at the Minamara Rainforest Centre. A series of elevated walkways meander through the rainforest, linked by suspension bridges across the Minamara rivulet. Allow an hour to take in the beauty of this lush, subtropical rainforest. For the more adventurous, try the Falls Walk. Enjoy spectacular rainforest, waterfall and canyon views, starting at the Minamara Rainforest Centre. Your next stop is the popular coastal town of Kiama, showcasing some of the most dramatic and varied coastlines and a fantastic area for whale watching. Stop off at the breathtaking Cathedral Rocks and then continue into Kiama's town centre for restaurants, cafes and a visit to the Lolly and Gift Shop. Likened to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, this old-world sweet shop is the perfect place to pick up some treats for your loved ones. The famous Kiama blowhole is the largest blowhole in the world, where spectacular plumes of water are ejected 30 metres into the air. On your journey to Shoalhaven Heads, stop in at the charming little town of Gerringong, which is just 10 minutes south of Kiama, where you can enjoy plenty of top-notch food and wine experiences as you enjoy the verdant countryside atmosphere. Rest at the luxurious Bangalore Villas, set against the pristine Coastal National Park and Shoalhaven Heads Golf Course. Time your stay with a dining experience at their much-acclaimed restaurant Bangalore Dining, open Monday, Thursday and weekends, with a renowned oyster dining experience alternate Friday evenings at 4 p.m. Spend the morning in the beautiful town of Shoalhaven Heads, exploring the picturesque river, or relax in the white sands and glassy waters of 7 Mile Beach. Next stop is the famous magical oasis of Jervis Bay, home to the widest sand in the world. It encompasses several marine and national parks, making it a budding haven for marine and wildlife. Your first point of call will be the Honeymoon Bay. Located inside the Beecroft Weapons Range, this stunning, sheltered bay is ideal for snorkeling, paddling, or relaxing on the exquisite beach. Then, make your way to Point Perpendicular Lighthouse, resting on the jagged cliffs at the tip of the towering headland. Next stop is the bustling seaside town of Huskisson. The crystal blue waters off Huskisson are home to a plethora of marine life, including bottlenose dolphins, fur seals, penguins, and weedy sea dragons. There are a number of magnificent coastal walks through the Jervis Bay National Park, taking in an oasis of white sandy beaches, marine, and bird life. Just a 10-minute drive from Huskisson is Paperbark Camp, an ultra-luxe safari-style tented retreat nestled among eucalyptus and paperbarks in Willamaya, a great place to spend the night. The iconic Hyams Beach is famed for its dazzling stretch of fine white sand. The calm ice blue waters are perfect for swimming, snorkeling, kayaking, and stand-up paddleboarding. Venturing further south to Milton, just over 40 minutes drive, a stylish, charming town lined with heritage streetscapes, gourmet indulgences, and dozens of unique homeware stores. The widely acclaimed Heritage Bakery is the perfect place to stop for the finest gourmet pies and a delicious selection of pastries and salads. Time your trip for the annual Food and Wine Festival in October, featuring some of the South Coast's most prestigious wineries, breweries, and restaurants across a day filled with live music and activities. After lunch, head on over to the Narrawali Inlet and Walking Track, where this unique reserve protects a staggering variety of landscapes and a veritable smorgasbord of woodlands, swamps, lagoons, and lakes. As the day ends, make your way to your accommodation at Bannisters by the Sea, a stunning boutique coastal retreat perched clifftop in Mollymook with sprawling ocean views. Home to the acclaimed Rick Stein at Bannister's Restaurant, the perfect location for true lovers of freshly caught seafood and great wine. To start your morning, hike up Pigeon House Mountain Didthol walking track. This walk is quite steep in parts, with a series of ladders at the summit, but you'll be rewarded with panoramic views of cliffs and gorges. Make your way to the idyllic village of Kangaroo Valley, with its verdant farmland, spectacular wilderness and country charm. Stroll through the historic 1870-built main street and explore cutely curated stores and cafes before stopping for lunch. For dessert, why not stop by the award-winning Kangaroo Valley Fudge House and Ice Creamery for some handmade, old-fashioned confectionery. You can hire a kayak or canoe and explore the Kangaroo River, or take a 20-minute drive down to Fitzroy Falls and discover two spectacular waterfalls. Milton Park County House Hotel and Spa in the Southern Highlands is tonight's accommodation. Set apart in its own secluded hilltop woodland just east of Bowral, this 5-star hotel offers luxurious accommodation and fine cuisine. Take your time to return to Sydney with many charming, quaint towns to visit on your journey home. From rolling green hills, heritage buildings, friendly locals, and sophisticated shopping, Berry is a perfect blend of village charm and city style. Browse through fresh produce, locally made sweet treats, award-winning restaurants, and the local vineyards and cellar doors. On the final leg of your journey back to Sydney, take the coastal road home through Bulli, stopping off at the heritage-listed Scarborough Hotel. This historic hotel has been transformed into a spectacular sea cliff Balinese-style beer garden with magnificent views. With so much to do, so close to Sydney, the South Coast is the perfect escape for locals and visitors to New South Wales.
The Blue Mountains are majestic and such an epic place to spend some time.
What a morning. Time for some brekkie.
They're also very close to Sydney, and getting away for a day trip or camping for the weekend is super easy, especially if you hook up with a camping provider like Great Camping Adventures. These guys can even set up your tent for you. While you're here, you must get out and see the views. There's lots of wonderful trails to walk or run, and they'll all lead to some of the greatest mountain lookouts in the world. You can follow the Nepean River down to the mighty Hawkesbury and find another great region to explore. There's so much on offer.
Hey Joe, how are you, Aiden?
One of my favourite things to do is a farm gate tour. Many of the local farms will have an honesty box or let you drop in and buy some farm fresh produce. Say hello to Joe for me and buy a box of his veggies. It doesn't get any fresher. Another place I love is Malanda Park Free Range Pork. These guys provide pork to some of Australia's best chefs and restaurants, and they do free range right, raised right on the banks of the Hawkesbury. Great guys. There's no better way to see the Hawkesbury River than by getting out on a houseboat for a day or two. Paul from Hawkesbury Afloat is the man to see. He's got a great range and can set you up with everything you need for your own adventure on the river.
How good is the Hawkesbury? Look at this, surrounded by nature, beautiful trees there. We're motoring along the river, absolutely perfect. Plus, the houseboat has got it all. We got beds, we got barbies, doesn't get much better.
While you're on the river, you should get some local fish to cook. Lifeboat Seafood is right on the wharf and you can buy the fish straight off the boat from them. Super fresh and you're supporting local industry.
Yeah, it's really good, seriously.
This is about as good as life gets, right here. New England is a gorgeous part of New South Wales any time of year, and a drive through the Tablelands will uncover a heap of great things to check out. Now, I love smoked fish, so a stop at Dino's Springwater Smoked Trout is a must. Throw in a line, have some lunch, and make sure you take away some of their award-winning produce. And talking about things to uncover, why not give Gem Fossicking a go? Alan Davis is a local legend and he can take you out panning for sapphires, which the New England region is famous for. They call Alan the Rock Whisperer and you're pretty much guaranteed to find a sapphire to take home with you. Obviously, I'm always on the hunt for great produce and there's a lot to choose from around here. Rochford Organic Garlic grows some of Australia's best garlic and it's worth stopping in to see Steve and grab some. Check out their other offerings while you're there as well. Then, for a place to stay, why not try a farm? Waterloo Station doesn't just have some of Australia's best beef, they have stunning on-farm accommodation too. Try their wonderfully restored shearers' quarters with your family or even some mates. Stay a couple of nights or a couple of weeks. This is a great way to experience farm life. Relax up or get out trail walking or horse riding. There's heaps to do if you want to stay active. You can even lend a hand on the farm if you're keen. And for me, it doesn't get any better than enjoying a campfire cook-up in such a picture-perfect location. How good is that? The Murrumbidgee River is the second largest river in Australia, and it's the lifeblood of the Riverina region. And if you're travelling through this area, why not start your journey by catching up with Mark Sadler from Bunji Aboriginal Cultural Tours.
Oh, wow.
To learn about his people and their land. The Murrumbidgee throws through Wagga Wagga, and right at the heart of town is Wagga Beach. This has been named one of the top 10 beaches in Australia. How cool is that? The Murrumbidgee River carries water to vast irrigation areas, and the region is rich with citrus, stone fruits, grapes and other crops. One place you should check out is Randall Organic Rice.
How are you? What are you up to?
Just getting a bit of rice ready for milling.
You don't hear much about Aussie rice, and we should because it's awesome.
Straight in, look at that.
These guys make some of the best, and they've got the awards to prove it. I'm a total sucker for licorice, and while you're in the area, you must stop at the Junee Licorice and Chocolate Factory. This is a family-run operation housed in a restored flour mill, and checking out the building is worth the trip alone.
Well, talk about a kid in a candy shop made my very own licorice bullets.
If you want to spoil yourself, you should see if you can book into the amazing Kaimo Estate, a 7,000-acre farm about 10 minutes from Gundagai. They have a range of accommodation, and my favourite is their epic eco huts.
I think this might be one of the best views in the Riverina.
This is off-grid living at its very best, and an experience not to be missed. Just so beautiful. How good is the Riverina? Just south of Sydney is some of Australia's most amazing coastline. It's well worth exploring, and one of the best ways to see it is by getting out on the water. Find a tour operator and see what you can discover. Craig Shepherd is a commercial sea urchin diver who harvests urchin by hand and supplies some of the best restaurants in Sydney. So good. Of course, the drive along the coast is epic, but the thing you just have to do is the Seacliff Bridge walk. Park your car and get out and take in the views along the 665-metre bridge, a real highlight of the Great Pacific Drive. Whenever I'm travelling, I love to stop in at farmers markets. It's a great way to see what's being grown in the area and you know that you're buying the freshest produce available. The Kiama farmers markets are right on the beach and a great place to stock up on supplies. A couple of my favourite growers are there, Michelle and Gary from Shoalhaven Gourmet Mushrooms. And if you're chasing mushrooms, you've got to get in quick because they sell out fast. Speaking of things that you have to do, you've got to drive through Berry and stop at the famous Berry Donut Van. Grab a bag of their fresh cooked cinnamon donuts.
Oh, they smell that good.
They're all time and worth going out of your way for. While you're near Kiama, see if you can book yourself in for one of the short food courses at Buena Vista Farm or take their farm tour. They make epic goat's cheese and grow a whole range of amazing produce. It's also a great place to take the kids and see the farm in action. Help collect the eggs, learn how to make cheese, or even try your hand at harvesting and roasting coffee beans. This place has to be the most picture-perfect farm I've ever seen, and Fee and Adam that run the place are just as wonderful. This part of New South Wales is so beautiful, you are not going to want to leave. Southern New South Wales is an awesome place to road trip through, with lots of little country towns to uncover. If you can, plan your journey so that you head through Young. Young is famous for cherries, and if you're a fan, then you've got to stop in and get your hands on some. Chris Hall runs Hall Family Orchards using regenerative agriculture to grow his cherries, and he was just named the New South Wales Farmer of the Year. They've got a wonderful farm gate where you can sample and buy a range of their great cherry offerings. Make sure you check out their cherry sorbet, so good. If you're after something a little bit different, why not try one of the area's alpaca farms? Drop into Blackwattle Alpaca Farm for a tour. Alpacas are super cute and lots of fun.
Hold it out like this, not mine. And just stand still.
Oh, get out of it!
And while you're there, you must check out their hand-spun yarn, and it's all hand-dyed right there on site. I think it's time for a new beanie. There are a number of great wineries in the area, and one that you must not drive past is Clonakilla. This winery is about as good as it gets and makes some of the best Shiraz in Australia.
G'day, Tim.
Tim Kirk's family has been making wine here since 1971, and their wine has become famous the world over. Clonakilla has a great restaurant and a wonderful cellar door, and is well worth spending the afternoon at. And of course, make sure you grab a couple of bottles for the cellar. I love finding organic and sustainably grown produce, and Charlie Arnott is a local farmer and Aussie legend that does things right.
Charlie!
Hayden,
How are you, mate? Good.
Mate, we're moving cattle. Jump in.
Okay.
Timing's perfect.
All right, straight to work.
Charlie runs an amazing natural grass-fed beef and lamb farm, and if you're able to hunt down some of his meat, then do so. Cooking with produce that you can source locally is always a good plan.
Yeah, look at this.
Wow. How do we go?
It went beautifully, look at that.
And finding a place to share a meal with new friends is a great way to finish off any road trip. I love an early start, and my favourite way to kick off the day is with a surf. Australia has some of the most amazing coastlines on the planet, and the mid-north coast of New South Wales is no exception. Port Macquarie is famous for surfing, and you're pretty much guaranteed a wave any time of year. So whether you're surfing or just chilling on the beach, this place is perfect. Afterwards, Bell's Bakery on Gordon Street is the perfect spot for brekkie. Say g'day to Wayno for me and grab a pie or a pastry and hit the road. I'm always on the hunt for great produce, and nearby is Ricardo's, where you'll find wonderful, fresh, sustainably grown strawberries and tomatoes. You can even pick your own. Heading south to Taree, you must stop in at Rudy's Master Meats. Rudy uses his family's original recipes and makes some of Australia's best small goods. You've got to try the cheese cranks here. So good. This area is home to the Great Lakes, and there are lots of things to explore. One of my favourite spots is Burradock Buffalo Dairy. Their award-winning buffalo mozzarella will go perfectly with the tomatoes from Ricardo's, if you've got any left. There's awesome sightseeing, of course, and if you have a full drive, pick up a day pass and hit the beach for a close-up view of nature at its best. A great way to finish the day is on the banks of one of the Great Lakes, and there's some amazing places to choose from. Mile Lakes National Parks is easy to get to and has wonderful walking trails and picnic spots to chill out and enjoy the sunset. It doesn't get any better.
Trust the breeze will keep on blowing. Fill these sails, not afraid to fail. Step on take, the step I give to you, the step I wait, the step I live is true with you.
Just as an award-winning gin is lauded for its balance of botanicals, those who have sipped from Mother Nature's cup in Noosa know it's the stunning landscapes and bountiful produce distilled into a cosmopolitan package that make it world-class on a small scale. It's through the work of forward-thinking conservationists in the 70s that major development was shunned in favour of celebrating its natural assets. With so much worth protecting, Noosa was designated as a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, recognising the symbiotic relationship between humans and nature. It's why you can now catch a break in a World Surfing Reserve in the morning, paddle one of only 2 Everglades in the world come afternoon, and bed down in a sustainable glamping tent that night. As a conscious traveller, rest easy knowing the community is dedicated to eliminating single-use plastics through the Plastic Free Noosa program, and that your participation in events goes towards a sustainability initiative, Trees for Tourism. The locals are here to soak up the outdoor lifestyle as much as you are, but it's not just outdoor fitness junkies and surfers who find themselves drawn here. The produce and homegrown hospitality talent has made Noosa a long-standing frontrunner in regional dining. Visit during the Noosa Eat and Drink Festival and you'll find yourself rubbing shoulders with the big-name chefs who love to holiday here too. And while the beaches are spectacular and the dining first class, take a short drive to country villages and find yourself enveloped by rolling green hills and farm hamlets. With such an alluring and nature-forward flavour, somehow one visit to Noosa is never quite enough.
Welcome aboard the Colonial Tramcar restaurant.
It was a fabulous night.
You're having food on a moving tram, that's incredible.
The customer service was fantastic.
We had a great time, laughed lots.
And the food was amazing.
Probably the mushrooms, the mushroom shop.
The mushroom place
is the best.
That always smells really delicious.
They have a spice there, has truffle salt in it, and I will put that in every food I possibly can.
Without a doubt, got to go to Lucia's.
Lucia's in the market.
The great thing about Lucia's is homemade.
Love has gone into it, and you can feel that in the walls of the place.
Very, very old school, very, very sort of 1960s.
And it's the same family, and it's now their kids.
I really like the gnocchi there. Oh, the other thing as well is the sauce.
The best parts of tradition come out in it when you're there.
The aburi salmon roll out with side. It's sliced salmon on top of a fresh sushi roll that is char grilled. Really, really delicious.
So you got to have the Russian pierogi at the markets only when they're fresh. He's just made them, and they're these disgusting, delicious grease potato-filled puffs. They're amazing.
My favourite thing, the thing that I have as my comfort food is cold rolls from the Vietnamese noodles and dishes bar. The pieces of like prawn and and then the peanut sauce. That peanut sauce, it's awesome.
But mainly I go there just to indulge a couple of my guilty pleasures, like the smelly cheese shop.
Say cheese because they're the only place that's got actual mozzarella. Oh, this like beautiful texture. It's like it's the proper deal. It's really, really good.
There's so many varieties. I think it'll take me a million years to try all the various varieties.
I love goat's cheese, and they have the best goat's cheese there. There's an amazing truffle cheese, which when you put it out to room temperature just oozes onto your cracker, and it's amazing and ridiculous.
I like to get myself some salami, go to Dough, get myself a fresh bread roll, get myself a tomato from any of the vegetable shops there, go sit in Victoria Square and just have a mini picnic.
Hong Fan, I've been going there since I was a kid, probably over 20 years ago. I normally go there on Friday nights, Saturday nights with a few mates and get a whole duck and just pig out on that. So your fatty pork, your soy sauce chicken, your chicken feet, it's just all hanging there in front.
There's a coffee vendor there that sells all sorts of coffee, and you can have it ground there. It's the smell in your bag when you've purchased the coffee.
To enter this hustle bustle, such a variety of things.
You can linger on Saturday mornings. It's so crowded, so you kind of have to do the Central Market shuffle.
It's fun to people watch, isn't it? You kind of look at people and you're like, oh, what are you here getting? And people always have you watch people that try and select their different fruit, and they sort of grab it, they give it a little squeeze, and you're like, oh, what's he, is he going to pick that one? And oh no, I don't like it.
You should really try everything, anything you can. If you haven't had it before, try it. Life's too short.
At Ayers Rock Resort, guests have a host of dining experiences to choose from. From the perfect Australian burger to the iconic Sounds of Silence dinner, there's a style and budget to suit all. No matter which accommodation a guest has chosen to stay at, they're able to dine and drink at any of the bars or restaurants throughout the resort.
Friday night is a dinner where you come along and sit with virtually strangers. And what's unique, I think, about Flames of the Forest is that you can come alone. You can come as one and just sit at a table with between 8 and 10 people, and which begins as strangers and it often ends up as best of friends. Whereas Saturday night is more a table for two, a romantic style dinner. We often have proposals, wedding anniversaries, birthdays. Everybody here is here because they enjoy the experience themselves. I don't think, I've been here now for years, probably 7, I've lost count, but the reason I come is because I just have never stopped enjoying the moment, basically. And every night is a moment. You walk up the path and there's flame torches and lights and beautiful rainforest, and love it. Just can't go past it.
When I started here, we like to create a really native menu and particularly Australian flavours. I'm not from Australia, I'm from Sweden. The kangaroo we're having on the banquet, I'm marinated in lemon myrtle, and it does bring out the beautiful flavour of the kangaroo, but also goes really, really well with the lemon myrtle. So it's a fun and combine the right flavours into the right products.
The night was amazing. It was a really unique experience. Really enjoyed the Aboriginal culture aspect of the evening. I'm not from here, so I found that really, really interesting. And the food was just spectacular, wasn't it, guys? Yeah, it was amazing. Lovely menu, plenty of food to go around. We certainly didn't run out, no leftovers either. And yeah, all round a really, really enjoyable, fantastic night with great company and great service.
I'm keeping tradition alive by telling an oral history that's been around for thousands of years. Plus I'm giving other people, the guests that come here, a bit of awareness of who we are and where we come from. My feeling personally is I feel this is a very sacred area. There's a bit of history in these valleys. I feel there's people, all the elders and the people that have passed away, they're still here, basically. They're still here watching us, and it's basically, I think they've given their approval to us. That's why Flames of the Forest has been running so well.
There's nothing like it, is there? No.
There's nothing like the sunrise, that first wave of the day.
The trip along the coastline.
It's right across the bay.
There's nothing like this ancient place.
The sunset from a camel.
This organism.
This fiddle ball. Oh, this dark-billed mammal.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
My
friends down there.
There's nothing like this bear.
That's not a bear.
There's nothing like this giant